My hair looks like really blonde.
It does look really blonde.
Here's Pamela for Greg. The Phantom.
I'm only here part of the time.
Hello, Ramona. Hello, Travel Queen. Hello, Sexy Nola. Let's see. Welcome. Oh, I gotta go over here. Have I gone live? Okay, I'm live over here too. Okay, here we are.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to make these things go away, but they're not. I mean, I don't know.
Just let it be.
Hello, Sandra. Hello, Sammy. Anita, our moderator. How are you? She said good evening.
Oh, good evening, Anita. I haven't been on the platform here for a while.
Okay. We're not going to accidentally let someone in like I did yesterday.
Oh, you accidentally let me in.
So last night was quite a night. Okay. So you doing well? How's your family? Your dad's doing okay? He recovered from his surgery? I had to put some chapstick on my lips. Greg always laughs about me and my chapstick, that I wear chapstick. So one thing, when we go to bed at night, I always have water and chapstick.
And then there's the infamous bathrobe with the 4 chapsticks in it. And your watch.
Yeah. So one time, I was at Greg's and I lost my iWatch. And we were looking. Hi, Lisa. How are you today? Lisa's in Dallas. Anyway, I lost my watch, and I kept saying to Greg, where is it? And we had gone in Walmart.
No, it was a Target.
A Target. Anita says she's excited about this live.
That makes 2 of us.
My son just called. He was leaving his dad. Unfortunately, I mentioned his dad is in hospice. And Greg says, 2 of us are getting ready to go on live. One of us willingly and one begrudgingly. So you're telling them.
Well, you have to guess who it is.
So anyway, with the story about the chapstick. So anyway, I tell Greg, I don't know what happened to my watch.
You were trying clothes on.
I was trying clothes on, and
because you got stuck there without any.
I was there, and I didn't have any clothes to wear for that day, so we went to Target, just pick up something, and then I couldn't find my watch after that. I came home week after week. I couldn't find my watch. Week after week, I couldn't find my watch. And then I think Greg, you surprised me for was it my birthday? And he replaced my watch.
Oh, that's right. I did buy you a watch.
He placed the watch. And then one day I was at his house, because usually I'll wear his robe when I'm at his house. And I put on his robe, and in the pocket was my watch and 4 chapsticks.
Yeah, the bathrobe sits on the door behind in the master bedroom, so it's always there. So it doesn't.
Can you all see Greg?
I'm only half here.
He's half Greg and half Pamela. Okay, so because these are recorded, so we really want to make sure we're both in the picture. Okay, so yeah, keep liking it so we'll get more viewers, and we're going to talk a little bit about one of the things that Greg knew. Hi, Trey Benet. How are you doing today? Good to see you. Glad you're here. Dodie came in. Share the live so people will come in and so they can hear our story about
a little different
4.
Today.
Yeah, 4, the number 4 play begins at 4 o'clock. Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about Greg's philosophy and how that works for him, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so over here on hello, Jean. Glad to see you here.
Yeah.
For Facebook. Facebook is not as active as TikTok, but more and more people are coming.
Maria.
Maria, how are you? Glad you're here. And we have 10 people that are looking as well on Facebook. Okay, so we're going to talk about how, hello, Elise. Oh, more people coming in. Facebook, they're coming in. Yes. Yes. Oh, Ms. Butterfly, welcome. Glad that you're here. We have a guest today. We have Greg, and we're going to talk about how the number 4 play begins at 4 o'clock. That's a pretty good topic, huh? Yeah, I mean, a lot of people want to know, have asked, how do we keep our spark alive at our ages of 16 and 19. No.
Yeah, Pamela is underage these days.
He took advantage of a young thing.
Yeah, the police are at my door.
But anyway, so we've been together, and would you say that our how can I say this? We're going to not be X-rated at all. Can you say, okay, we have to keep
I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere.
So can you say that our level of participation in romantic
our intimacy is off the chart.
Yeah. So it's really very unusual. And then you think about how old we are, that we have this passion. So one of the things is Greg had this philosophy, and you want to share about the philosophy you had about how 4, begins at 4, and foreplay begins at 4.
Okay, generally, and this is a theory I heard years ago, and I thought about it. I was married for 20 years, and I've been divorced for 24 now, and so the situation is, you kind of look at it and you go, okay. Over the years, I've dated a number of people, and you kind of hear about different situations. People have been married a long time and what caused them to get divorced and so on. And generally it occurs because somebody, generally the male, is not in alignment with the female or his spouse about what to bring to the table to make the environment more conducive to having intimacy or more of a romantic relationship. And so years ago, I heard, okay, foreplay begins at 4, meaning, you just don't walk in the door or go to bed at night after, well, Johnny Carson's not on anymore. But I mean, it's one of those things where you just don't go to bed and have expectations when you've been either grumpy or you've had an issue or you've got stress or whatever going on. And so a couple of the things that keep us moving forward. And well, I can't say any other word. I mean, from that standpoint, is we're pretty much aligned in a lot of things. I think we've had this conversation before on the manual that about dating, where I have 3 criteria, or I typically look at to start with. And one is your partner or the potential partner aesthetically pleasing, and I think most of us would agree that Pamela is very attractive. And especially, I mean, most of you don't realize she's lost 20 or 25 pounds in the last 4 months. And so she's extremely
well. And you know why? You tell them what I did to lose it?
Well, I mean, she changed her eating habits and basically gave up sugars and flour and a whole bunch of other stuff, which I certainly can't do. I mean, I have a hard enough time keeping my weight down or where it is, much less losing it.
But you've lost weight too.
Yeah, but that's a secondary issue. And so we're pretty much aligned in a lot of areas. First off, to make life easier, we don't have kids. As much as Pamela wants to have more children, we just don't have kids. I mean, so that's the starting point. So we don't have that stress. We both continue to work. So there's an activity outside of sitting at home and watching TV all day, or woodworking, or whatever their hobby happens to be. Thirdly, we each, for the most part, have our own residences. So we're not together 24/7 all the time. It's like, I'm here tonight because, what's the deal? Oh, yeah. You came over separately yesterday. I had a client meeting in the morning yesterday or early afternoon. And then I have client meetings tomorrow and Friday. So I'm leaving tomorrow morning to go back to where my job, or at least where I'm going to be meeting people at. And then I'll be over there, and I'll be back over here Friday afternoon or Friday evening, one of the two. So we have interest beyond the scope of reading the newspaper or whatever the story happens to be, or watching TV together. And then the other part too is we both are pretty active. Pamela's had a foot issue the last couple of months, but we go to the gym. We both do Pilates. We both try and pay attention to what we eat. She's a lot more diligent about things than I am. And so there's a lot of alignment in terms of what our goals are. We're both pretty much money oriented. So it's one of those things where there's no need to not work, even though we're in our 70s. There's no need to not work. And, retirement, okay, we do stuff. We went on a short weekend vacation for the 4th of July. We're going to go we're probably going to go to Europe sometime in late September.
Portugal. Yay!
That's a definite possibility.
Possibility.
Yeah, well, okay. I mean, one of us has got to pay for it. So that's the other side of it.
Yeah, well, we're going.
And then it's like, we mentioned the other day, or at least today, I mentioned that we'll probably do another weekend activity up at a piece of property I own on a lake up in Georgia. First off, part of it's working around the property. And then the second part, maybe we'll rent a boat and spend half a day on the water,
Sandra.
on the lake. But so we have alignment in terms of what our activities are and what our goals are. And then last but not least, Pamela's very smart. And so I'm probably not quite as clever as her in a lot of areas. But by the same
token, you're very
token,
smart in ways I'm not.
We tend to complement each other on, she tends to be more assertive and stuff. Although last Friday, was it Friday or Saturday? It was Saturday night, wasn't it? No. Was it Friday night or Saturday night at the movies? Was it Friday night at the movies?
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not one to complain, but we had such a terrible time at a dinner situation that I actually had to stand up and go talk to the manager. I mean,
which didn't do any good.
No, it didn't do any good, but at least it made me feel better.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the other part. So we have, so Pamela brings a lot to the table that I don't have. And we both have different interests. She's more I'm in the financial field. So I tend to be more numbers oriented, and I don't happen to be the joiner in a lot of areas that Pamela is. I mean, Pamela gets up at 5:45 in the morning to go join different groups. And, it's like she's joining a group in Germany. She's joining a group internationally. She's got other mentors she's dealing with. I mean, it's one thing after another. So when we go to church, I like to go to church, hear the message, and leave. And when I'm besieged by people going, "How are you?" and "Good to see you," and this, that, and the other, it's one of those things where Pamela gets a kick out of that. So, but that's the other part. So we both have, kind of alignment in terms of our goals and thought process going down the road. Long story short. So basically, if you want to have an intimate relationship, or at least create a romantic situation, you just can't walk in the door at 9 o'clock at night, or go into the bedroom at 9 o'clock at night and expect everything to be hunky dory. And so how do I anticipate things? And we'll talk a little bit about our particular situation, but in general, how do I set the tone? Do I, do something nice? Do I bring flowers? Do I make arrangements to do something? Do I make arrangements to have something delivered? Do I make arrangements to have an appointment for my partner to go do something that, whether it's a pedicure, manicure,
Ride a horse.
Yeah, ride a horse, or whatever the story happens to be, or an activity. And then at night, rarely do we talk about stressful topics. I tend to be more newsworthy or news oriented. And so we don't talk generally about politics a whole lot. We don't generally talk about religion a whole lot, although we go to church together. It's one of those things that, we're there to hear the message and impart it and how we live our daily life. But there's a lot of the controversial things that we don't just get involved with because there's no point at this stage of life. I mean, I'm not changing her mind. I'm not changing her lifestyle. And, she's not going to change my mind about certain things either. There's no point in it. So we have a lifestyle that's pretty conducive to easy peasy type things. And so when it's time to go to bed, now the only
So have we ever had an argument?
Yeah, we have had an argument.
How many? In 2 years?
Well, at least one at a Starbucks. It wasn't an argument. We did have a tiff, but it was a one-sided tiff because I got up and left. but the argument was at Starbucks. So, and don't get me wrong, I wasn't at Starbucks to drink coffee.
He doesn't even like Starbucks.
No, but
now he really doesn't like Starbucks. I don't think I could ever give him to go to Starbucks again.
Yeah, it was a rather controversial afternoon from that standpoint.
But you think about people, who disagree all the time. We don't have that.
No, it's, and like you said, a lot of it is because we don't happen to focus in on different, the same things and have different sides of opinion or different opinions about the same thing. Mm-hmm. Clothing wise, how you dress, how you look. Our lifestyles are pretty similar. The only difference is at my house, I almost have to have a kosher kitchen because Pamela eats so differently than I do. But maybe the next house will have 2 different refrigerators and whole different setup.
Well, it's not that bad. You fix he cooks for himself. I cook for myself. We eat at the same table. We're both in the kitchen preparing our meals. And then we sit at the table, we say grace together, and then we eat. And
and I would tell you, I'm not quite as fastidious as in my house as Pamela is. Do I clean and cook and all that stuff? Yeah. But again, because I live alone or have lived alone for so long, if something is out and I haven't gotten around to putting it away in the garage or wherever, it'll sit there until I get around to putting it in the garage. Pamela is a little more active about putting things away.
I don't put stuff away in his house.
Yeah.
I just let it stuff, however his house looks, it looks.
And by the same token, we have differing views on how to, like at my house, I have a lot of activity around the house that I take care of. The yard, I've got stuff going on inside in terms of renovating the house. At Pamela, today's a good example. I told her I would bring over my power washer to power wash her driveway and sidewalk and save her 50 or 100 or 200 bucks. No, it was easier for her to hire somebody to come do it. And of course, he used the same power washer that I have, by the way, just in case you didn't notice.
I don't know what your bars look like.
Well, I did notice. So anyway, it's one of those things. So, she has somebody come do a lot of the stuff that I would do around my house. So that's the other side. So typically on the weekends, last weekend was a good example. Saturday morning, I went through 3 sets of clothing, working outside because it was the one day we hadn't had rain, and I was mowing and trimming and cutting and doing all types of stuff. And I jumped in the pool afterwards, but still. And so Pamela was inside, and she did come out and help me drive the tractor a little bit to pick up some debris and take it to the holding spot so I could get rid of it. But so we're aligned a lot in how we do things. And then there are certain things that we just don't have, there's no context in terms of you do this or you do that, or I don't like you doing this or I don't like you doing that. And even
we don't try to change each other. Yeah.
Yeah. Even in our house, she has her office in my 4th bedroom. She has her stuff in one of the other bedrooms. When I'm at her house, she took one of the bedrooms here and made it basically my place, and my stuff is in one of the other bedroom. So it's, and so we can function without being on top of each other. The only thing at my house, I was having a heating and cooling problem a couple of weeks ago. So all the doors were closed in my house to keep the cooling situation, at least decent. And so when she's in her office, or at least in the bedroom that serves, or the downstairs bedroom that services as an office and is set up as an office.
He set it up for me as an office.
Yeah.
And I set up for him. What did I set up in my house for you?
It's basically a man cave, but it's basically a place to relax and watch TV.
So he has a place where he can go and feel comfortable and just kind of chill.
And we each have our own bathrooms too. So it's not like we share a bathroom.
Yeah. So I have a bathroom. I use a bathroom at his house. He uses a bathroom at my house. And he has his room. And for me, most of the time, if I'm not, where do I am most of the time? At your house.
So you disappear into work.
Yeah, I'm in my office that he made for me.
Yeah, so that's the only thing. And the other part too is, we do have at least enough garage space to get both cars in the garage. So that makes it, again, that's one of my obsessions. So it's one of those deals where that kind of works out as well. So it's one of the things.
And I have 2 cars, so generally I'll leave one car because I go to Pilates. That's probably the only place I go, pretty much.
No, you go to the grocery store.
Or a store. Went to a meeting one day.
Oh yeah, when you're over at my Pamela generally leaves a car over at my house, and so when she comes over, we commute generally together. But the other, so she has a car at my house as well, so that's the other part. But all those things lend themselves to the context of when we go to bed. There's no controversy. When we go to bed, there's no. Oh, you said this. Well, you do say you said this or you said that, but they're generally not controversial topics. I generally don't remember what she's talking about, or at least I don't remember saying.
He says I have a volume where I keep.
No, you have a catalog. You have a catalog of things I've said over the last 2.5 years. So they come up every once in a while, but that makes it easy. So when we go to bed, there's no stigma about, being aggressive or asking for, a relationship or asking for, intimacy. It basically it's a mutual agreement. And then the other part too is, we both, at this stage of life, we're both grateful that we both have a libido and that is still pretty strong. And so that's the other side of it. So the foreplay part begins early in the day and transcends itself through the evening. And yeah, the only downside is occasionally I like to watch shoot 'em ups on TV, and Pamela doesn't like them. So, although we did have a show on the other night. That was your show. I forget what it was. And then, the other part too is Pamela we went to the movies the other night, and Pamela generally picks out the movies. So she generally has a theme behind the movies that she likes to pick out. So, so we went to see The Invite the other night. So that was her choice.
Yeah, you were surprised.
Yeah, I think you were surprised too.
But but the thing is that like generally we like do things together. Like for example, we get up in the morning when we're together. What do the first thing we do? I mean,
we make the bed.
Yeah, we make up the bed together, and then we go, and then he goes about his day, and pretty much I go about my day, and then we'll get together for dinner, and then he'll fix his dinner, and then I'll fix my dinner, and we sit down. For the most part, we sit down, and then we have dinner together. I eat my food, he eat his food, and then what do we do?
Well, then we generally either have a conversation or we watch TV or
we do the dishes together.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. The dishwasher does the dish. We stack the dishwasher.
Yeah, we put the dishwasher. He has a specific way he likes the dishwasher loaded.
I just happen to load it a certain way.
Now I'll tell you that was a big difference. For the first year we were together, I looked like I was at his house, and I went to go in the kitchen, and he was like, "You can't, don't go in the kitchen." He wouldn't even let me in his kitchen at all. So now I at least get to go in the kitchen and fix my own food. And we have his side of the refrigerator.
Yeah, you have a pantry.
And I have a side of the refrigerator.
And you have your own pantry.
And he has his pantry where he keeps his food. And I have my pantry where I keep my food. And so,
We have 2 blenders. We have
he has a blender for me. And he's like bought more strawberries than he has his whole life.
Yeah, okay, so one of us buys only organic strawberries at Costco. I won't say who. And so the other day I was at Walmart, and guess what? I bought frozen strawberries as well. And so, but that goes into my smoothie. And so those two never touch each other.
And then I put my strawberries in his freezer, and he's got all this meat. And I try to not let my strawberries touch his frozen and steaks and stuff that he has in his thing. But anyway, I have a smoothie every morning with strawberries. And I like organic strawberries. So his refrigerator has like almond milk and organic strawberries and yogurt. And I guess his refrigerator. And then that's on my side of the refrigerator. And then he has his side of the refrigerator.
Yeah, her side of the refrigerator is having withdrawal pains because it's not seeing fat-free milk. It's not seeing chicken or fish or, things like that, sugars.
And then in my house, he has a shelf where he has his food, and you have a shelf
in the pantry
where he has his food, and he has like peanut butter crackers and what are those wafers?
I have
and I don't eat flour, so he has like breads and things like that.
I brought over some rolls I had in the freezer, but generally I have some lunch meats, or this week I brought spaghetti.
Or he'll eat hot dogs and things like that. Today, which was unusual.
Oh, the other reason I'm here today is because this is my week to be over here. And so, like I alluded to, so generally I'm here Monday and Tuesday, and then I go back to my place. I have to work in Tallahassee Wednesdays, and this week I'll work there Thursday because I have to be there.
And you have something Friday this week.
Yeah, this week I have something on Friday, but generally I'm back in Tallahassee 2 days a week, even though we're over here. And then next week, Pamela will probably be over at my house most of the week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the deal. So that's why I'm here tonight.
Yeah. So he usually comes over. So we're at your house more. We said it's 50-50, but it's more we're at your house because on the week, if possible, if we could be at your house on the weekends when you work. And it doesn't matter to me because I work. I have my business. And the thing I like about Greg is I am a workaholic.
Well,
would you say that?
Oh no, I wouldn't say that because we came home from church 2 Sundays ago, and Pamela looked at her phone and said, "I've got to go into my office." And this was at 11 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't see her until we went to bed that night.
Well, you went to bed and turned the lights off. He was not happy.
And I went to bed. And
I disappeared in the office.
Yeah.
And so, I do tend to be a workaholic, and pretty much most of the time, if I'm not like fanatical about it. But in the evening, he likes to watch shoot 'em ups. And so I go in, because I have a TV, that I never watch. And in fact,
I have Prime on my TV, and
he says, please double tap your screens to show your support. Okay.
So I have Prime over at my house, and she has Netflix over here. So when I'm over here, I get to see all the stuff on Netflix that I don't get at my house. And then at my house, I show her what's on Prime, which
shows me,
which is probably not quite as attractive as what's on Netflix. But I'm watching a Netflix thing right now with Justin Bateman and Jude Law.
Okay.
And so it's called Black Rabbit.
Lisa said it's Westerns. He doesn't watch many Westerns. He likes more like war and
usually the Westerns are some type of revenge. Somebody got shot, and they're trying to avenge the death of a parent, sibling, spouse, whatever the story happens to be. So the Westerns, there's certain guys. I'm not real
action movie. You're into action movies more.
Yeah, and there's certain actors I have no desire to watch. I mean, so that's the other side of it.
Yeah. So he watches TV. So I compromise by watching TV with him. And if it's like going to be a lot of killing, what I'll do is I'll bring in my laptop and I'll kind of work and watch the movie at the same time, but there's only one thing.
Then you have to explain the whole movie to Pamela because she's only heard or seen part of it.
I'm half deaf. I'm deaf in my right ear, so I can't hear it a lot anyway. And so then Greg always has to explain to me what happened in the movie. So,
who was what? Who was doing what to whom?
Especially after the movie ended, like who died and what happened and who, he has to explain the whole movie to me. He's like, "Were we watching the same movie?" For the subtitles, you can read it while you work. So yeah. So anyway, so what we watched.
That is you have that on your TV here.
What?
I don't have the subtitles on my TV.
I don't have the subtitles.
Yeah, you do. I'm watching it on Netflix so I can see what everybody's saying.
Oh, I don't know. One time, Greg, he put on his phone.
No, on my TV.
She says, "Watch The Shack, old movie but good." Have you ever heard of The Shack?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, is that on Netflix, Bridget? No, I mean, one time, Greg, he was trying to be, I guess, considerate, and he put on his TV where not only did they have the subtitle, they explained everything that was happening.
It had the verbiage as the guy was saying it, or at least, they were explaining it. There was a different person explaining
opens
it.
The door, then they opened the door, and then they shut the door, and then they looked to the right, they looked to the left, and then Greg couldn't figure out how to turn it off. So.
Yeah, I'm not the technology buff. I mean, I'm grateful that my work is pretty straightforward in what I do.
Yeah, yeah. So so we,
So that's the point is that's how we get along, and that's how we interface with each other, even in our late 70s, and still keep the spark in our relationship. And then we joke around a lot. Pamela likes to joke about holding hands wherever we go.
So when Greg and I first met, and I'm very, would you say I'm tactile?
Yeah,
I'm very tactile. So I will tell you about the bed tactile, but so when Greg and I first met, he says, "Well, I'm not really used to being, so touchy-feely. And, but okay, so when we go places, I like to hold hands. And so he'll hold hands and we'll walk, to the store, we'll hold hands. And then, like he gets like kind of antsy about holding hands. So I said, okay, we'll hold hands counting to 10. So we'll hold hands and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And so anyway, we hold hands. And then he's like ready. Like we were going somewhere and he puts his hand there. I can hold his hand.
Yeah, I'm Pavlov's dog. I've been trained.
The other thing is, it's because he said, like, usually when I'm with someone, they get on their side of the bed after the romance, and
there's only one side of the bed in this relationship.
So he's always like falling off the bed.
I'm at the edge of the bed because I like to. I sleep with my feet out from under the covers. I know, strange.
And he turns on his side, but I'm like right there next to him, and then he looks like, "Can you move over a little bit?"
Well, I had to show her the other night when we were in the villa on our vacation what it was like to sleep on my side of the bed with her.
So I was going. He said, "This is how I'm always dangling off the bed." Yeah, it's my side of the bed. So. I do so I've been trying to be more conscious and give him a little more space. And especially like sometimes it's really hot and sweaty, because it's hot. And I try to like not smother him. But so we have, I guess you could say we are very, I guess the best way to say it, intimate.
Yeah.
We have a lot of intimacy.
We have a lot of alignment in terms of what we do, our thought process and our activities, as well as our passion. And so it's one of those things where, I don't have to worry about being assertive or aggressive or whatever. It's kind of a mutual understanding. When we go to bed, we both enjoy each other from that standpoint. And so it whether it's morning or night or whatever. Sometimes on the weekends, it's, whenever. But it makes it easy because.
So tell me from a man's point of view, what is appealing to you about that?
Well, you don't have the feeling of rejection, or you don't have to feel like you're, being oppressive or demanding from that standpoint. And then the other part too is I try and make sure that Pamela is always satisfied multiple times.
That's a little bit more too deep.
Too much information.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where, it's more important for her to be relaxed than it is for me to be relaxed. So that's the other side of it.
So you were saying that in many ways, like, I'm a dream come true for men.
Yeah.
For men. So talk about that.
Oh, this is going to be okay. We're getting
we're
crossing the line here.
So try to be kind of.
Pamela is also very expressive, and so that's the other part. So
I'm expressive as a person, so I'm expressive in and out of bed. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's and so it's one of those things where you just kind of go, okay. So when we're being passionate, there's always there's no filters from that standpoint.
Yeah, we're very out there with each other.
Yeah, and so it's fun. And by the same token, just to give you an idea of what makes it also more attractive. So we're on our weekend trip the other day, or last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess it was. And so a gentleman comes up on Friday afternoon as we're walking out of the hotel, and Pamela is wearing a tennis skirt, or a really short skirt, and she has very nice legs. And so the guy.
That was the first thing you noticed about me.
Yeah, well, that was 2 years ago when we were first meeting. So the guy comes up and he goes, "Excuse me," and he goes, your wife or your whatever, your part, I forget how he phrased it, but she goes, "Just want to compliment you on, she has very nice legs, or beautiful legs." So that type of thing, I mean, just resonates with me too. And so it makes it easy to, be enthralled with what we're going to do that evening. And the same token, I try and be considerate about what we've done during the day to make it work for her. I try not to make a mess at her house. I try and leave it better than when I found it. I was actually appalled when I got here today because I'd left some stuff out when we left the other week, because we've been gone here from 2 weeks. I haven't been here in 2 weeks, because when we left my house 2 weeks ago, we went on vacation for 4th of July.
And
then we went back to my house. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like we went 2 weeks without being here. So usually I'm pretty fastidious when I'm over here about keeping things clean and tidy and keeping my crap all in one place so it's not all over the place. So that's the other part, to try and make things easy.
And you're pretty picky. I mean, he's picky about what he's picky about. You know what I mean? So I try to, toe the line, like, make sure that I push the silverware up the right thing, and I really let him load the dishwasher because he likes it.
I never say anything about that.
You did tell me. You said, I don't mean to be OCD.
Once I said it once, but from there on out,
from then on, I put the silverware in like how you like it.
So I just go in and correct the dishwasher when it's loaded. Mm-hmm. So we do the dishes together most nights.
Yeah, and so like last week, Greg had a tummy ache for 4 days.
Oh, I've been taking creatine, and I've been I've been loading creatine I'm taking too much at a time, and so I've been doing it for 4 or 5 days and taking 20 milligrams a day. And usually that doesn't bother me, but for whatever reason, that it just got into my system, and it was just too much for my system. So I have to cut back on that. But yeah, I take creatine because we go to the gym, it helps maintain muscle mass. And then secondly, it's good for your thought process as well, particularly with people over 60. Mm-hmm. So that's the other side of it.
Anyway, the point I was going to make about that, he had a stomach ache like for 4 days. And, we weren't like romantic or touchy or anything like that because he was not feeling well. And it was it was different. I could feel the difference when we're like intimate with each other. Like we give each other a peck in the morning before he leaves. And then he, like, when he comes home to his house from work, usually he'll come in my office and he'll say, "How was your day?" And we talk about how his day was. I keep working because my work day is longer than his work day. And so, we, and it's like touching and playing and hugging and things like that. So we're very, don't do it. He like to do that to me. So we're like very tactile, and it just keeps that connection alive, and then, when we go to bed, generally it's not like, are we are. And there's no friction about that. Very rarely there's not any friction about that. It's just something that a way we connect is part of our day. And and for me, this is very new because this is not anything I've experienced. I mean, I waited until I was 75 to have this kind of connection. And it's like really crazy because if I would talk about most of my life, I've lived alone for 46 years. And most of my life was not, I was more anorexic. So wasn't really active a lot in my life. And so when I met Greg, we laugh. I like really trusted Greg because I thought can I say it?
Sure.
So I thought he's like a nerd, like this guy is like a nerd, I'm not really expecting much, but he looks like he's safe. And I said, okay, I had a coach and she would say, meet someone and go all in. So I had never gone all in my life. And so I was like, go all in. How do you go all in? And so when I met Greg, I just like, well, he looks harmless enough. I think he looks harmless enough. And a lot of you don't know the story about how we met, but anyway, we met on Match. And then on our third date, I asked him if he would go with me on a business trip because I had a dog. My dog, Sammy, was dying. Yeah, Greg is sneaky, right? And I said, would you go with me on this trip and watch my dog? And while we were going to go watch the dog, he ended up watching me. But anyway, so I thought, I just thought, oh, he's a safe guy, and he's really looking for a relationship, which he wasn't. And so, when we met, we were in the car and, we had our talk, and I told him, don't touch my hair. I have extensions, don't, I snore. I go to the bathroom. I just had never spent several days in a room with one man the whole time. Yeah, Greg knew the whole time. He knew exactly. I told him I bought a box of condoms, so he was like, so, and we were in the car. I said, okay, so we're going to go slow. We're going to go slow, and he didn't hear slow. He had one thing on his mind.
Say that. I doubt that was ever said.
I said we were going to go slow. I did. I told you. And I was like very.
No, the dog passed away.
My dog lost my doggy. He was in hospice at the time. Anyway, the first night we were in a hotel, he was over in the other bed. I got two queen beds, and I was sleeping with Sammy, my doggy, and he was in the other bed, and he was sitting over there reading a book. I thought.
I was reading a book.
He was reading. He's a big reader. He always reads books, and so I had really put him through a lot that day. He didn't think he was going to have to drive how many hours?
It was like 8 hours.
8 hours. We're going to have. So he thought we were going in my car. He gets here. He realized we were going in his car. And because I was so nervous, I just packed everything. I had so much stuff. I had my dog carrier. I had my dog bed. I had a trunk. I bought my terry cloth robe. I bought 2 pair of flannel pajamas. I bought my food. I had all this stuff. And he drove up and he's like, how are we going to get all this in the car?
Because she's got a small car.
So anyway, it filled his car up. He had an SUV, and it filled his car up.
I don't read the Kama Sutra. I usually read action novels, not fiction. I read a lot of fiction.
So anyway, so when we get there, and then we went to the wrong hotel at first. I told him to go to the wrong hotel, and he had taken all this crap out of the car. And then we get there, and we're at the wrong hotel because there were two hotels. One accepted dogs and one didn't, and I forgot which one was which. So anyway, he had to load the car again to get to the right hotel. So we get to the right hotel, and so then he has to unload the car again. So I just thought, you know, I'm gonna. This is what I thought the first night. I'm gonna put on my flannel pajamas, my polka dot flannel pajamas, because everybody understands when you have on flannel pajamas, it means no hanky panky. I mean, I was married. When I was married for 10 years, my husband knew if you have on flannel pajamas, nothing's going to happen. So anyway, I put my flannel pajamas on, but I said, to show goodwill, I'll go over there and give him a little cuddle, so he'll know that more is coming later.
And that was the start of things.
So he's over there reading the book, and then I go over there, and I'm like, okay, give him a cuddle. And I didn't know how smooth he was. And he knew how to touch the right spot, and then the pajamas flew.
Yeah, they're now framed on the wall.
And we've been together ever since. But
yeah, so our situation is very robust in that regard. And so it's one of those things. So that's kind of how we go in terms of how we operate. And you know, we've gone in the last couple of months. We've been spending time at each other's house just to kind of.
Okay, so let's talk about so we started. You know, we started March 6th.
I don't know what day it was.
It was March 6th. I'm telling you.
Okay.
March 6th, and we determined it a month ahead of time because we were going to.
This is okay. I agree to things. But Pamela is the detail person on this stuff. So
on we agreed that on March 6th, we would start living 50-50 at each other's house. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, but again, we both work. So different things take
you know, but you know, basically we said we were going to live together 50-50. And you know, Greg, I mean, he works at a bank. And so
I work for a bank.
He works for a bank. And so he does have a physical location. I work from home. So on my weeks, you know, he comes over for a couple of days, and then he goes back to his town, which is 3 hours away. And then he works, and then he'll come back towards the end of the week. And then we'll make the transfer and go to his house. And then I'll be at his house for a week. Generally, we stay, you know, through Sunday. We go to church, and then
you have lipstick on your teeth.
I do.
Yeah.
I always do that. I hate that. I don't know why.
But yeah, we split time between houses, and it's just one of those things.
And it was a big deal because we made room in each other's house for each other to have a space.
Yeah, you know, this is all part of that 4 at 4 stuff, because that way you're not on top of one another during the day, or if you're working. I mean, I work remotely quite frequently. Well, like this week. When I'm over here, I'm working remotely, and my job is not quite as intensive as Pamela is, because she's getting something off the ground, a program off the ground, whereas my business is more sustained and sustainable without having to. I don't have to interface with my clients day in and day out all the time. So whereas the application that she's got going on with the invisible rule, we laugh every day because they're certain things that come into play that are evident from the invisible rule part of it. And we were talking about perspective on different things the other night, and how things change over the years from that standpoint. So yeah, it's just one of the things you would start to look at why you do things, or how you do things, or what causes you to do certain things or have certain habits. Mm-hmm. And that's part of this whole situation that she's working with this program.
Okay, and I just want to answer it, because quite a few of you who don't know us, or maybe you who do know us, said why aren't we getting married?
I am a fiduciary.
Married, or why aren't we married? So we've known each other 2.5 years. I've been single for 46 years. He's been single for 24 years. And we have heirs. We have children that we, have been planning for. And, and
our estate plans are different.
Yeah. And, from my point of view, there's certain benchmarks that I have to reach for me before I would make that step. And, and we're not in a hurry for that. And we have discussed a date. We have discussed a private date that no one else knows but us, right?
I don't know about that. You probably have mentioned it several times in the last couple of years.
You know the date. We talked about it.
I know, but
you know the date.
Yeah, but
we both know the date, and no one else knows the date. And that's a goal. That we will.
There's some criteria that have to be met to make it work, though.
Yeah, and there's some things that have to be met before we think it'll work. And so we're happy, very happy. The way things are. We enjoy each other a lot. We enjoy each other's company. We have good companionship. We have fun together. We laugh. We do things together. And I have to say from a woman's point of view, is that Greg is very good about trying to make me happy, and he really, tries to be he's very thoughtful. He compliments me all the time. He tells me, how I look, I look good. And, so he's always complimenting me. He's very attentive. He makes time for us to be together. And, we enjoy what we have together. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. We're glad Greg, he happened to be here today and he agreed to join us.
There's only probably one thing I can't fulfill for Pamela's wishes, and that's she does want to have another child.
Stop it. Yeah, at 77, I want a child, right? No, but I'm going towards my goals. He's very supportive of that, and and we just have a good time together, and we enjoy being together in and out of bed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, and the other part too is, we go places. Okay. So again, I harken back to our trip a couple of weeks ago. So Pamela has a certain restaurant, or at least a juice bar, whatever you want, a health bar that she likes to go to down in the Villages. And so we go in there and she's chatting somebody up. And the next thing I know, she's calling her grandson to introduce him to this guy who's out of nowhere in this place. And that's the type of thing that happens. So when we go someplace, Pamela tends to be the more outgoing person. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a hermit, or I'm not, Scrooge by any means, but, I see people day in and day out. And so when I get home at night, I don't need to join more groups. I have plenty of activity during the day. And that's one of the reasons I continue to work, is my socialization. A lot of it occurs from, the normal business day.
Right. So I'm more outgoing and social when we're kind of in those kind of environments. And so we want to invite you. I've been working on an app, and it's a way that you can get my coaching. It's called Invisible Rule. And Anita, if you'll put that. And Toby, we're so glad to see you. Toby said hi to you.
Hey, I keep telling Pamela when she's over there to meet up with you.
Yeah, so we know you've been traveling, but I'm going to get together. Toby is in Tallahassee. So when I was in Tallahassee, I had a chance to meet and have coffee with Toby at a Starbucks. So I look forward to doing that again. Yeah. And we got to do our girl trip. Yeah, we're going to do our girl trip either on a cruise, or we're going to go to Las Vegas or something like that. Okay. So if you could put the link for the Invisible Rule, and I'm going to put it over here in Facebook. And this is what, you want to, what could you say about the Invisible Rule? Greg, you've seen me and heard about it a lot.
I think it incorporates, again, I'm not Mr. Artificial Intelligence, but it's pretty amazing that you can have on-demand coaching or on-demand support. And actually, Pamela it's her voice, her thought process, and then some of the other things that occur within that framework in terms of the feedback she gets from the group that she works with. It's just unbelievable.
Hi, Diane.
So it's just one of those things where it's it's the wave of the future. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. So anyway, check it out, click the link, check it out and see what your invisible rule is. When I found out my invisible rule, if I had not found my invisible rule, I wouldn't be with Greg today, because I had all these preconceived ideas about what being in a relationship was. And I was always pushing men away, and I never would take a risk like I took with Greg. But I am glad that I did do that, and I went all in with him, and we have a very good time together. Stop. Okay. Does anybody have any questions before we go? You love the app? Oh, you've tried it, Tara. I'm so happy. Anita, you like it too? So you all click the link and try the invisible rule, and you get to talk. You hear me. I'll be talking to you, and you could tell me. She's smarter than me, actually. Today, I was trying to show my team. I have 7 people that work for me, and I was trying to show them something, and she wouldn't shut up. I like, oh, so what you're doing is this. You're explaining to your staff, and I'm like, what I should do. I said, yes, but will you be quiet? And then she kept, no, blah, 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 blah. I said, you always have to have the last word. Well, yes, just tell me what to do. So it sounds like she's very, very smart. So talk to her. Tell her anything you want to tell her, and she will tell you what I would tell you. I take all the knowledge in my brain and put it into the invisible rule so that you can be like you're literally talking to me. So anyway, thank you all for joining us. And thank you for being here. And let's see, thank you. Let's see, with Facebook, we've got quite a few comments over here. Jean, Marie, Elise, Sean, Faith, Bridget, Regina, Betty, Faye, Sharon, Diane, Tucker, and Karen.
Yeah, Pamela does a lot of shorts too. So that's the other part of the Facebook stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got a great audience. I mean, we almost have as many followers on Facebook as we have on TikTok, which, we have about 20,000. I'd like to have 1 million, but we're reaching for it. We haven't forgotten. We just have to have that one viral. All we need is that one viral post. One day we'll get it. We'll get it. We'll get 1 million. Yeah. So that's what we're shooting for. And we'll see how it goes. Okay. Thank you all for joining us today. I'm very happy that Greg, thanks for joining us and sharing your thoughts. People really love you being here.
It's a pleasure to be here. I have my fingers crossed, but that's just no. I laugh only because Pamela is so effervescent, and I'm not. That's the other part of it.
Yeah, Greg is very more of an introvert, and so for him being on, he doesn't. He do you ever use your Facebook account? Hardly. Yeah, he's not a social media person. So here he is, like on in the social media, all over TikTok.
Well, it's when my administrative assistant or my ex-wife calls me and asks if I'm engaged. It kind of diminishes my appetite for social media.
Yeah, Greg found out he was engaged on social media. And I have the ring to prove it. Okay, thank you all. Thank you, Anita, for
being
our moderator.
And I'll get her to hook up with you, Toby, when you stop traveling.
Okay. All righty. I look forward to it. See you soon. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day. And then I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Bye-bye. Thank you on Facebook. Let me see. I'm ending the stream. I'm supposed to do this here. Bye-bye. Thank you for being here.